Taylor Swift released her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, on October 3rd, and immediately, literary fans and Shakespeare enthusiasts recognized the nod to William Shakespeare in the album's opening track, The Fate of Ophelia, which arrived with a cinematic music video drawing inspiration from Shakespeare's tragedy Hamlet, first performed between 1599 and 1601. In the haunting new song, Swift sings openly about her heart being rescued from the fate of Ophelia, a clear allusion to her fiancé, Travis Kelce, and the transformative role he has played in her life. Among the lyrics, Swift reflects, "And if you'd never come for me, I might have drowned in the melancholy," referencing the doomed Hamlet character Ophelia, who is remembered for her tragic drowning after heartbreak and loss in the play. Throughout Hamlet, Ophelia suffers devastating rejection from Hamlet and the trauma of her father's murder at Hamlet's hand, ultimately leading her to madness and her watery demise. Swift's lyric and the imagery featured on the album cover seem to draw from a specific Victorian-era masterpiece, the famous painting Ophelia by John Everett Millais, which immortalizes the moment Ophelia floats serenely in a stream, her head and chest just above the water's surface while her body is slowly submerged. Painting Shakespearean scenes was a popular pursuit among Victorian artists, and Ophelia became one of the most depicted and beloved muses in this genre. The Millais portrait is renowned for its delicate beauty and emotional power, showing Ophelia surrounded by flowers and foliage, her hands outstretched and her gaze vacant, as if surrendering to her fate. Subscribe now for more exclusive insights into the stories behind Taylor's music. According to the Tate Collection in the UK, the artist John Everett Millais worked on Ophelia for 4 months, with artist and muse Elizabeth Siddal posing for him in a bathtub kept warm by lamps. Millais carefully arranged flowers around Siddal's body, each bloom chosen for its symbolic meaning, love, pain, innocence, and faithfulness, to enrich the storytelling. Over time, the painting became an icon and inspired generations of artists, actors, and filmmakers to reimagine Ophelia's story and tragic end. The influence of Millais' Ophelia stretches far beyond the canvas. It inspired key moments in celebrated Hamlet film adaptations by Laurence Olivier in 1948 and Kenneth Branagh in 1996, and its evocative imagery appeared in pop culture, such as the 1995 music video for Where the Wild Roses Grow by Kylie Minogue and Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Artnet reported that the memorable scene in Season 3 of HBO's White Lotus, showing Walton Goggins and Amy Lou Woods floating lifeless in the water, also paid homage to the Millais painting. The most high-profile contemporary take on Ophelia arrived with the 2019 film Ophelia, starring Daisy Ridley, which retold Hamlet's story from Ophelia's perspective and brought renewed attention to her character in modern culture. Throughout the years, Ophelia's tragic fate has become a powerful symbol of heartbreak, surrender, and the complexities of love and grief. Swift acknowledged the Hamlet reference in her new song during an interview on Kelce's podcast, joking about her fiancé's limited familiarity with the bard's work. "He may not have read Hamlet, but I explained it to him, so he knows what happened," she said with a laugh. The playful exchange delighted listeners, highlighting both the romantic and literary references woven into the album. As fans dove into the fate of Ophelia and its lush visuals, they quickly drew connections to Millais' painting and the long tradition of artists interpreting Shakespeare's doomed heroine. The music video features lush, moody landscapes and underwater shots that mirror the composition and color palette of Millais' work, with Taylor herself depicted in flowing dresses, surrounded by symbolic flowers, and at times floating serenely in water, eyes open to the sky. The visual storytelling mirrors the song's lyrics, blending themes of despair and redemption as Swift's character finds salvation from Ophelia's tragic end through love and acceptance. Social media buzzed with commentary from Shakespeare fans, art historians, and Swifties alike, who celebrated the depth and ambition of the video's imagery. Many praised the way Swift honored Ophelia's legacy while reinterpreting her fate, exchanging tragedy for hope in the song's narrative. Critics and fans alike pointed out that the cover art for The Life of a Showgirl further reinforces these references, with Taylor posed against a backdrop reminiscent of Victorian Romanticism, her dress and posture evoking the tranquility and drama of Millais' Ophelia. Art critics noted the careful attention to period detail, from the choice of flowers to the play of light and shadow in the visuals. In interviews surrounding the album's release, Swift spoke about her fascination with literary heroines and the ways their stories resonate across centuries. She described the process of researching Hamlet and the legend of Ophelia, drawing inspiration from classic art and literature to craft a song that speaks to the dangers of isolation and the redemptive power of love. She also mentioned how the creative team behind the music video worked tirelessly to faithfully recreate the iconic look of Millais' painting, consulting with art historians and costume designers to ensure authenticity. The result is a music video that serves as both homage and reinterpretation, blending past and present in a way that feels fresh and deeply personal. If you love hearing about the inspirations behind Taylor's songs, subscribe for more artist insights and exclusive commentary. Swift's decision to open the life of a showgirl with the Fate of Ophelia set the tone for an album rooted in storytelling, drama, and emotional honesty. The song quickly became a fan favorite, with listeners praising its literary references and sweeping arrangements. Online, fans and scholars debated the meaning of the lyrics, dissecting every line for clues about Taylor's relationship with Travis Kelce and the broader themes of the album. The imagery of drowning and rescue resonated with many, who saw in it a metaphor for overcoming hardship and finding joy in unexpected places. Meanwhile, teachers and academics used the song and video as a springboard for lessons on Hamlet, the Pre-Raphaelite movement, and the enduring appeal of tragic heroines. The conversation extended to pop culture outlets, with writers exploring the connections between Taylor's work and the long tradition of artists engaging with Shakespeare. The music video for The Fate of Ophelia was hailed as one of Swift's most ambitious visual projects to date, praised for its lush cinematography, symbolic visuals, and emotional resonance. Fans marveled at the underwater sequences, the careful staging of flowers, and the subtle nods to Hamlet throughout. Swift's performance, balancing vulnerability and strength, was singled out as a highlight, with critics commending her for bringing new depth to a centuries-old tale. The collaboration between Taylor and her creative team was credited with pushing the boundaries of what a pop music video can achieve, blending fine art, theater, and modern storytelling into a single experience. As the song climbed the charts, discussions of Ophelia's legacy surged, with renewed attention to Millais' painting and its place in art history. Museums and galleries reported increased interest in Pre-Raphaelite art, as fans sought to learn more about the connections between Swift's music and Victorian painting. For more on the art and history behind the music, subscribe and never miss an update. In the days following the album's release, The Fate of Ophelia became a centerpiece of Swift's promotional appearances, with the artist discussing the influence of Hamlet and the creative process behind the song. Interviews with directors and designers from the music video revealed the painstaking research and collaboration that went into bringing the vision to life. Costume designer notes described the use of vintage fabrics and hand embroidery to replicate the textures and colors of Millais' original painting. Set designers recreated the lush, overgrown landscapes of the English countryside, using natural light and real flowers to achieve the desired effect. Cinematographers experimented with underwater cameras, capturing the ethereal quality of Ophelia's final moments while ensuring Taylor's performance remained front and center. Editors worked late into the night to stitch together footage that balanced narrative clarity with dreamlike beauty. The end result was a music video that captivated audiences worldwide, drawing praise from critics, scholars, and fans alike. As the story of The Fate of Ophelia spread, it sparked conversations about the enduring relevance of Shakespeare's characters and the ways artists continue to find inspiration in classic works. Swift's willingness to engage with literary history, to reinterpret and reimagine, was celebrated as a testament to her artistry and ambition. The Life of a Showgirl went on to break sales records, with The Fate of Ophelia leading the way as the album's signature track. The song's success was reflected in streaming numbers, chart positions, and critical acclaim, establishing it as one of the standout releases of the year. For ongoing coverage of Taylor Swift's creative journey and the stories behind her music, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more exclusive features.